Greetings, fencers. The next verses of the Zettel are: For and nach, these two things are the origin of all art. The first tactical teaching from Lichtenauer is vor and nach, or before and after. For is the one who attacks first. They are taking the initiative and deliberately acting to make the other react. Action and reaction is the most useful translation. Even if they parry or defend, if we continue to another attack, we keep the for, making sure they are stuck reacting and cannot act. We are often given the simple instruction to attack first, like in this sentence. For means that you should always come up with a cut or a thrust to an opening first, so that your opponent has to parry you. However, someone who had this book at a point, perhaps even Hans Medel himself, wrote over Sigmund Ringek's gloss, "if you want." So instead it reads that you should only attack first if you want to. Because if you're a fencer, you know it may be safer not to. If two people are always trying to attack first, then it can often lead to a lot of doubles. People just hitting each other without regard for their own safety. So we must take the before safely. Now at the beginning, people will simply cut again to keep the for. However, in reality, this will often give your opponent a motion to take the for. Instead, throughout the book, the masters will advise us to seek the nearest opening after the bind. When we cut and they parry, we want to use a biter or a winding slice to the nearest opening. This will cause them to parry harder, creating an opening to safely cut around. Even slapping with the flat will give the same effect. And this is where being able to attack many different targets and different openings will help you keep the for. We want the initiative and to keep them being defensive so we can control the fight and remain safe. However, this author is not as enamored by the for as others. In the next video we will go through the break or counter to the for. Recognizing who has the for or who is acting first is the most important skill for safe fencing. This concept is still used today 500 years later in modern fencing. The person who is attacking has priority or right of way. Thanks for watching, keep studying, keep practicing.
Separate!